We are playing Call from the Deep. But before I let Patrick take it away, in the doobly-doo down below, please check out our Extra Life link as well as a link to our sister shows in the Discord as part of the Heroes Wanted collective of shows. Now, without further ado, take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Stephanie. Welcome everyone to what I think will be the final prelude session to Call from the Deep. Joining me tonight are...
Hello, I am Lorne. I'm playing Nithdoras, the Githyanki. Wait, let me just double check it's the right Gith. Yeah, Githyanki War Mage.
I am Brendan, and I'll be playing Old Silver, the Sea Elf, Sea Captain, Sea-rated adventurer.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I'll be playing Pavo, the Aarakocra Bard.
Hi everyone, I'm Tara, and I shall be playing Ishka, the Water Genasi Druid of the Coast.
Hello everyone, Nabil here. I'll be playing as Scrap Heap, a Warforged Paladin, eventually going to take the oath for vengeance for not scrubbing my database.
Can you take two? You lost the S at the start of your name there.
Oh my god, I put so much effort into that intro. Okay, can you hear me guys now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we could hear you. We just literally, you just lost the S. You just said, I'm playing Crap Heap.
Let me retract that. I am not Crap Heap. I am Scrap Heap. Yeah, pretty much the intro is starting off from there. Warforged Paladin, that's it.
Montauk chooses not to correct Scrap Heap on his error of pronunciation. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris. I'm playing Montauk, Goliath Fighter, potential Battle Master. That's the name of the subclass. He hits things with swords, and he's big.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm playing Rue Belle Devereaux, Cleric of Umberly.
And last session, the group began investigating tales of a ghostly ship and a Dracolich that has been attacking homesteads and small towns along the Sword Coast. You attempted to interview a survivor, but their mind was broken, and they could only rant about the eyes of the Dracolich before reverting to yips and barks and attempting to bite you. Researching the time and distance between the attacks, you made your way to an unnamed fishing village in the Bay of Storms. And as you found, each attack was 4 days apart, loosely based on the changes in the moon's cycle. This locale seemed to be next in line to be attacked. Arriving at this town, which is a collection of derelict buildings that have been rebuilt over time with various flotsam and driftwood that has come up to the shores of this island, you met a 12-year-old girl named Elisande who quickly showed you around the village. Some of the key parts she showed you was the barn, which is where she told you the goats lived. And inside, as you inspected it, Old Silver found a beam made from an old longboat with the name of his previous ship, the Dragon's Edge, painted on it. Around the fire pit in the center of this small hovel of a town, you met 3 crones who told you to be wary of the beast in the woods and intimated they know of the Dragon's Edge, and claimed they were willing to trade for information, but never actually seemed to give you anything. You could also smell smoke from the smokehouse nearby, where clearly fish and other goods were being smoked to be preserved. And you could see the people of the town staring at you from their windows and quickly turning away. Inside Elisande's old house, partially destroyed as she told you that her parents had died years ago, you met Varric, the Lunaman, who seems to be another survivor of these coastal raids who has made his way here to the village a couple of days ago. He described to you a ghostly galleon, the Dragon's Edge, and how it came out of the water and his village was attacked by undead spirits that walked out of the waves on the back of a Dracolich that breathed fire and laid waste to his town. You found some inconsistencies in his story. He described the Dragon's Edge as a galleon, which is not the type of ship that it was, but his demeanor is very twitchy and off, and he is clearly or seemingly affected by the same type of PTSD as Yip, the gentleman you met back in Neverwinter. On the other side, Ishka has sent her animal companion out to fly and scout over the dark, thick woodlands which nearby this village are surprisingly sort of lush and healthier than you would have expected. And so that is where we're going to pick up. So Ishka, roll me a perception check for your animal companion. As well, if Nithtoris, if you were going to send your owl up to take a look around, you guys can give me perception checks for them to see what they spot over this dark woodland.
It would help if I had the character sheet open. All right, wild companion. Okay, do.
So with advantage, 18.
Sorry, I'm lagging. Pop my little guy on the map there. Perception. He has advantage as well. I don't know if it's set to roll advantage. No, it's not. 14.
You rolled initiative.
Oh, God.
We're fighting the whole village.
Lord.
A seagull would.
There we
Actually,
go.
yeah.
I got
Really
one
would.
better. 15.
All right. With that, your two animals fly off and, circle around. It's not a large island. And Ishka, your gull picks up that there is a small cove with a thin path through the woods, not too far away. It's not the main landing grounds where you guys landed, but you had sent it to try and find to see if there's any other beachheads, and it does manage to see the one. And Minerva, as they fly over top of these dark woods, they see that, in fact, on the far side of the island, which is probably only about a half hour's walk through this dark wood, there is a large water-filled ravine. And with their 18, they are able to spot that there is what looks like could be a small cave on the side of this ravine wall.
I will have my seagull swoop down and see if, I don't want him to land yet, but just see if he can kind of like spot anything inside the cave.
All right. Give me another perception check. This one, because they're looking into a dark cave, will just be a straight roll.
I don't know how to turn that off on an NPC sheet.
You don't need to. You can always roll with advantage. It'll just be
18.
the first roll. 18. Peering in, they see that there is sort of a passageway that, as a little bit of light filters in, it seems to open up into a larger space inside this cave.
Okay, I'm not gonna have him go in and scout around like that. Just for me to know whether it's like a dead end, but it looks like it's gonna open up into something bigger, so that's useful to know. Doesn't spot anything else of interest?
No, I mean, in terms, if you're flying over the woods, it is very dense.
Yeah.
If Minerva or your birds sort of fly through and around, they actually don't find very much.
Yeah, I was gonna have him fly like over the woods just to kind of get a layout of the land, and then on the way back, kind of like fly in and amongst the trees to see if he could spot anything. Okay.
Yeah, I would say with Minerva's original 18, the only creatures that they would have seen are a few squirrels and rodents, and that's about it.
Okay. Ishka will relay this information once everyone gets back.
And
I don't
would
think.
be willing to supplement the information being given.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything we would need to scout out, is there? Like, I don't think either one of us would want to send. You're with me, right? Or are you with the other guys?
I'm with the other guys, but I had, I'm using my senses to look through my bird
Okay.
to look around and gather anything.
Yes, I wouldn't be
can
able
do
to
that up to
powwow.
a mile. So
Okay. I wouldn't be able to powwow with you then to see if you wanted to maybe send your owl in or something. I wouldn't want to risk that anyways.
Scrap Heap, myself, and the girl, as well as the crones, are here, so we could ask them.
Oh yeah. Okay. I will
Also
ask.
Yeah, little girl.
I'll ask the crones what they know of the cave on the other side of the island.
And they chuckle, and one of them turns and says, "Oh, sister, you know that story. Tell them the story." And one of the older ones turns and looks and grins this horrible, rotten tooth grin at you and just says, "Oh, let me tell you about Maud Bogtrotter, the imp. Well, in this cave there once lived a beautiful, quiet imp named Maud Bogtrotter.
I
Not
started
a splendid, ruddy, stripy sort of pit filled with soup and a tiny smell, nor yet a damp, pretty, charming cave with nothing in it to sit down on or eat. 'Twas an imp pit, and that means warmth. Well, one day after a troubling visit from the moose, Graham Thunder, Maud leaves her pit and sets out in search of 3 charming bees. A quest undertaken in the company of wizards, people, and a couple of fake ogres. Now, in this search for the moose-guarded bees, Maud Bogtrotter surprises even herself with her patience and her skill as a tracker, and during her travels she rescued a hawk, an heirloom belonging to Graham the moose, but when Graham refused to try her cooking, their friendship is just over. However, Graham gets wounded by hunters, and the two reconcile just before Maud engages in some serious cooking in her home. And she accepts one of the 3 charming bees and returns home to her pit a very wealthy imp. That's what that's about.
Makes sense.
See. And has anyone entered it recently? Any more recent tales of this cave you could tell me?
Well, I don't know that anyone's been to that cave for a very, very long time. I think before that there lived a wobbly, cold goblin named Gregory the Grey. Not a backward, urban, carefree kind of place when he lived it, filled with beans and a beautiful smell, but, a handsome, passionate cave it was. Oh, it was a good goblin cave, which of course meant happiness.
Okay, so
She's
Very
an
well.
expert in caves.
Sounds
I'm learning
like
so
it.
much. Is your passion spelunking?
Oh, well, I haven't done that since I was a young one there. And she kind of flashes you a wink and a grin.
Oh, madam. Ha ha ha.
Okay, Ishka will thank them for the information and just kind of like keep talking to them, chilling with them, hanging out, wait for everyone to get back. Tell them some stories of growing up in the water, under the sea, under the sea,
doo-doo,
under the sea.
doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yeah, and of course they will tell you, again, be careful of the beast in the dark woods to get to that there cave, though. And Elisande, as you are coming forward, she just says, no, mustn't walk the dark wood. The creatures will gobble you. You be careful. You mustn't walk the dark woods.
What is the creature?
The creature's the creature.
Is it
We
like...
will be careful, grandmothers.
And, well, where does the creature usually come? Does he come into the village, or is he always in the wood? What if he
They
sits
stay
next to the wood?
good.
What
Well,
if we had a...
you may spot it, but you got to take your life in your own hands if you go through the woods.
But he
Dark,
won't come
rotten
out.
place it is.
If he was chasing us in the woods and we ran out, he wouldn't chase us out?
You wouldn't escape to know.
I don't know. I could fly real high.
So how does anybody know a creature is out there if anyone who comes in contact with him or her or they dies?
Well, occasionally you'll find the remains, but everyone knows when the children go missing, that's where they go.
Wait. Children are going missing?
And the crones giggle. Wait, you're not even there.
Crap, sorry, I was with the other group.
What are you talking about there? It's very
Yeah,
strange.
back with the other group, Varric, in his twitchy sort of way, is looking at and just like there's
talk in the middle of
too
nothing.
many of you. I need some air. I need some air. Excuse me. And he sort of pushes his way through and half sort of dashes out beside one of the other buildings, where you see him sort of take a couple of deep, calming sort of breaths and just sort of stroll out. He's just like, just need air.
Yeah, here's ya.
Montauk will make sure that that crazy Lulu man does not get lost, and Montauk will just sort of follow him.
And once they're out of earshot, Rubel will look towards Old Silver and say, "Do you think that man was a lying bastard?"
I don't know, but I need to investigate every possibility.
I want to see if he left anything behind that could shed light on this crazy ass town.
Ooh, good idea.
All right, give me an investigation check. Yes, you are left in
Guidance.
this half-ruined hovel that he was in.
I do well. Oh, apparently I have a guidance, so yes. Cool, 20.
Roll it.
20. You dig through some of the rubble and junk that is in here, not finding too much, until you find a loose stone. And behind this stone, you find a small selection of supplies and notes. And in a sack, you find a small notebook written in a foreign script. What languages do you guys speak?
I speak Aquan, Common, Elvish.
Those exact same languages. Well, primordial, but
Common, Draconic, Gith, Goblin, Infernal.
You recognize this as Draconic. And as you read it, it details the number of people in the village, their professions, along with a sketch of this place, the woods, and a small cave housing, what appears to be some sort of altar or setup inside this cave. In addition to this, you find a vial of green, foul-smelling dust.
Interesting.
I will pocket everything, turn to everyone, and, in the universal sign of silence, hold a finger in front of my mouth.
All right. And Montauk, are you being stealthy about following this guy?
Oh no, I'm just standing here leaning against the corner, watching him take his breath.
All right. And then he goes to sort of take a walk, sort of around, sort of continuing to sort of twitch every once in a while and seemingly attempting to get his bearings.
And he's very specifically walking around the building away from me.
Yes, it looks like he's and you can see as you're moving, it looks like there's almost like a well-worn path that, if not him, somebody has worn through the brambles and the grasses here.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yes,
keep
Scrap
my-
Heap, you're up at the fire with Pavo and Ishka and the crones. So if you're following him, give me a stealth check, Montauk, if you're trying to do it quietly, or if you're doing it obviously, that's fine as well.
I am doing it obviously. I am keeping my distance, but I'm just gonna kind of make sure that he's not out of my sight for more than a few seconds.
All right, give me an insight check, please.
Montauk sees into the hearts of men.
He clearly, you can tell, has clocked you, but it doesn't change his demeanor. He still seems to be walking and twitching every once in a while and maybe muttering to himself.
Okay, I'll keep following him then. Just at a distance, 15 feet or so, like I am right now.
Just casually sauntering.
Just casually sauntering, He's out for some air. I'm out for some air.
Casual.
Casual.
All right, and so what are everybody around the fire doing as this happens?
Well, we're waiting for them, so we will try and get some more information out of Alessandra about the area. Maybe some more information about either the cave or the monster.
Yeah, she can't give you too much. She doesn't know anything more of the monster other than what she's sort of been told, that it's in the woods and it's this horrible sort of fleshy kind of thing. And she knows nothing of the cave.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because she says, I don't goes through the woods. I see. I mean, it mustn't be a creature of the woods. Maybe it's a creature of the woods layers. And like her eyes sort of widen in fear at the thought of, that's where the creature might live.
It's possible, but we don't know. We haven't even seen the creature yet.
And you shouldn't. You're not going into the woods, are you?
We don't know yet, but we might. We'll see.
All right.
We'll go
with
where
that-
we need to.
And you can see she looks, terrified by that. And, she sort of goes and holds on to you, Ishka, and just says, but if he goes in the woods and don't comes back, I can't leave here with you.
I am confident we shall return, and we shall not go into the woods unless we need to.
All right. And you guys, as you're standing at the fire, you see, this sort of twitchy gentleman wander by. And then a moment or so later, Montauk just casually strolling, not trying to be subtle about it, following him around as he sort of circumnavigates the, the ruined town.
Montauk, are you following that guy?
Yeah, Ishka will kind of like give him a look.
Montauk is out for a walk.
Very well, then enjoy.
Montauk is out for his constitutional.
Well, wear your coat. You'll catch your death.
All right. I mean, if you want to, are you going to try and cast Detect Magic as a ritual in the Theodorus and
Yeah,
sit
I'm
and
gonna
do that? Okay.
Slink into slinking into that alley would be bad. I'd probably slink down behind the house here, assuming the wall will provide enough cover and block line of sight, and cast it ritually and determine if there's any magic on this thing. And if there is, then I'd use my action to learn which school it is.
It does not radiate magic.
I still hold on to it and the book and the notes.
All right. With that, I would say, the group can sort of meet up around the fire and figure out what they are wanting to do next.
Do we wish to discuss our next step so openly?
Yes, discretion is the better part of valor. do we all have a common language, maybe? And I start like chatting in Aquan. See if anyone else understands me.
I believe myself and Ishka both will.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Ishka speaks Primordial.
Yeah, Primordial is Aquan.
Yeah.
Aquan, Terran, Ignan,
Yeah.
the other one. The one that...
And as you
specifically
speak in that,
Pavo
one of the
thinks.
crones kind of chuckles and says, "Ha, you're sea folks, aren't you?"
Actually, I'm from the desert. And I flare my gills out.
And she just grins this awful grin, and you can see she's got like 3 teeth left that are mostly black but still there. And she just says, aye, you're as far from the desert as I am, boy.
I bet it's been a long time since someone called you Boyle, Silver.
A bit, yes. But 3, maybe 4 centuries.
Wait, you're only 4 years old?
Centuries. 6 centuries old.
Well, I do like a younger man, don't I now, mother?
Ishka will actively start laughing at that.
Well, then let me introduce you to Pavo here.
Grandmothers are always so much fun. But yes, let's find a place to. Obviously, we're probably not going to be doing anything tonight. Where can we set up camp for the night? And then we can figure out what we're going to be doing in the morning.
You've been told the only really place they allow outsides to stay is in the barn. And you're welcome to it.
All right, let's go to the
Excuse
barn.
me.
And
Ace Jack?
it is still early afternoon, so you guys have
okay.
plenty of time left in the day.
What else do we need to
and
explore?
The only other building you haven't really been through here is the smokehouse. And Montauk, I would say, as you're following Varric around, that building, as you move around, you see sort of standing out in front of it is a large bearded man with 2 arms that are not the same length. His right arm, you see, is much longer and stronger than his left, which is, sort of underdeveloped and half the size of the other. But very large, very stern, and, you just see him, finishing off what is clearly a smoked or dried fish as he watches you walk past and just kind of tersely nods at you.
Montauk will grunt and sort of nod and say, good fish, man cook, noble profession.
He, gives you sort of another grunt and nod back, just, And then you see him pick up this massive sort of fish knife and just start cutting and filleting sort of fish, on this wooden block in front of him.
All right, I'll note that for later. Is my friend here still attempting to evade me?
He's just walking around. Occasionally he'll look back at you, but he's, clearly just looking for sort of open space and kind of fresh air, as it seems. And he has not broken his stride or anything like that. He is just moving at the same kind of pace.
Montauk thinks to himself, either innocent or a professional. And Montauk will continue to walk.
All right. So if the rest of you are going to head back to the barn and figure out your next moves,
Yes, I
what
will.
would you guys like to do?
I would like to figure out my next move, but I want to do a Is the barn really the only accommodations available?
Oh, aye, for outsides, indeed it is. I mean, unless you got your own wood, you're happy to move into some of the ruins, but I mean, we don't take outsides into our homes.
Not even if you knew who I was? Not even a cleric of Umberlee?
And you see her spit on the ground and just say, Umberlee, Umberlee does nothing for us. Yees be outside, you stay in the barn if you want to stay in our town.
Do you know who I am?
Ye be outside. That's all you are to us.
I am the second princess of Moraes.
And you see them look at each other and say, "You don't know what that is."
The noble sea elf capital in the southern from the southern regions.
And you see they sort of giggle and look at each other and just say, "Oh, if you're so special there, you shouldn't have left."
I will just walk away exasperated and angry and muttering to myself, "What do you mean they don't know where Moraes is?"
Where is Moraes?
It's towards the south. It's, it's hot. We have a very fine tradition.
But that's not near Charles. I've never heard of it, is it?
Have you ever heard of Baton Bleu?
I've played in Baton Rouge.
No. It's a little further south and under the water. It's Baton Bleu. Baton Bleu. That is where the lovely kingdom of Moraes is from. And I am its second princess.
What happened to the first? Did they lose it?
No. That means I am second. I'm the second born of the royal family.
Oh, the unwanted child. I know what that's like.
And one of the
Very
crones
wanted!
pipes in and says, "Oh, exactly. I'm the second child. Everything gets forgotten. Nothing written about me. Nobody's got any drawings of the second child."
There are plenty of drawings of the second princess of Moraes.
But I'm sure there's more of your sister, right? Like all over the place, and she's got like ermine robes, and she holds this nice glowy stick.
Own like crown and stuff, right?
Yes, but that's only because she was the firstborn.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That doesn't mean I'm equally important.
With
I would
less
like to
pictures.
incite that.
As Montauk walks past, he says, "In Montauk's kingdom, succession will be determined by bench pressing." And then he walks past.
That sounds like what the youngest would say.
Patrick, is she as important as her sister?
I believe I am.
Yeah,
Insight.
she is fully committed and believes she is.
She is, okay.
Doesn't mean you believe her, but she believes herself.
This is true, dang it.
Well, I
And she
guess
stomps her foot and walks away.
firstborns get the castle, secondborns get the barn. Let's go.
All right, so you guys make your way inside the barn, and it is quiet. It is dry from the drizzling rain that has been falling this entire time, and you guys are able to relax, except for old Silver, who you guys all see is just a little distracted and keeps turning his eyes towards the beam in the roof with his old ship's
Patrick,
name on
does
it.
it look like it's part of an old ship, or does it seem like someone just painted the name on it?
It is very clearly taken from the ship. I mean, it's an old longboat, so it's not from the boat itself, but like from one of the escape boats, that kind of thing.
Do you want us to paint over it so you don't have to look at it?
Oh, no.
Before, how long does this guy keep this up?
He's moving slowly. I mean, with most of that conversation, he's probably been out walking for close to 25-30 minutes at this point, because it's long enough for Nithdoris to have cast his spell.
Montauk will approach.
All right, you catch up, and he immediately turns and is, twitching and sort of looking at you. It's like, just leave me, please, just leave me be.
Perhaps little man would do well back in the safety of the indoors. Not that Montauk feels the need to intimidate young little man, but this place is full of, how shall I put this, yokels. Perhaps being inside is better.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, and he just says that. Well, I mean, I didn't even think people would believe what I saw. You know, but at least they were willing to take me in here and have shown me some measure of kindness.
Mm. When little Lulu man just recovers strength, perhaps we could talk again about many things.
Yeah, sure, of course. I'll be in my walls. I'll and
Yes.
he just kind of scuttles away.
Montauk will see you soon, and then he'll walk away. And then he'll walk up past Alberto and say, "Fishman, selfish? Perhaps
Trade.
Trade for what?
Knife, tool."
Montauk searches himself for stuff. I've got a couple of things. A whole hand axe is pretty expensive. I don't have a dagger on me, but a dagger's a pretty easy thing to come by.
Not here, apparently.
No, not here. Hunting trap is really expensive too. Montauk searches himself and
Manual labor.
You see him. He looks you up and down, and he just looks and goes, "Axe. Give me an insight check."
Montauk's doing a lot of that.
15. You get the sense that, I mean, from people you've been around in your tribe and your travels, that this guy could be a violently dangerous man. He just has that look in his eyes and in his body language.
Montauk will sort of look down at him, smile, and then walk away. And walk back towards the barn.
As you're walking away, he turns and just goes, "Outside." And as you turn around, he tosses you a dried sort of fish.
Montauk catches it, or attempts to catch it.
I think you'd be able to get it pretty easily. And he just sort of laughs, this huge, garrulous laugh. But there is sort of an edge to it that you pick up as well.
Montauk will nod and grunt and look at his other arm and say, "Perhaps lift a few more things with that arm, but you are a good fishman." And he'll turn away and he'll come back into the barn and say, "Fish smoker man, very dangerous. Do not approach."
Yes, as we get into here, you have to understand with these people. You've got to remember they're just simple farmers. These are the people of the land, the common clay of New Faerun. You know, morons.
They're not even farmers, Pavo. They're fishermen, and they barely scrape by. They're
That's why I
practically
pulled out
inbred.
my Overly card. Normally they, help me out a little.
Montauk will slam down the smoked fish and say, "Dinner."
What kind of fish is that?
Smoked.
And it
Ishka
is
will-
delicious.
Ishka will relay the news of the cave and what the crones told her about the the rambling tale about the imp and the goblin, and how there's apparently a monster in the woods, and we'll never get through it alive.
And it's so rambling and confusing. Scrapheap and Pablo have to chime in a few times to get it straight.
Yeah,
That was a weird ass story.
it was.
No, the fake ogres. No, the fake ogres
Oh,
were
yes.
for that part.
Right. Yes. I'm sorry. And then the when did the goblin come in again?
I like
Scrappy,
the
do you
part where
remember?
the sound good.
You asked about the goblin when you asked if anybody, when
No,
the
like-
last time they went there. And so the
Yeah.
goblin was like a second tale that they started spinning off into.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it was just so convoluted and weird. It's just getting them mixed up now.
Don't ask me to repeat them.
No.
Echo's up on the spot, Patrick. Are you that good?
I made part of that up on the spot. The other part I pulled out of a like a random plot generator. So it gave me keywords, but most of it I spun myself.
Okay, cool.
Inspiration.
So yeah, I instruct telepathically Minerva to go around and just look for anyone who might eavesdrop or otherwise peer in on this place while I plan to tell everyone about what I found.
All right, yeah, and Minerva, as you guys move into the barn, you can see, a few of the townsfolk come outside. A couple of them head to the fire pit. None of them seem to be, paying any attention to the barn other than sort of glances and nudges at each other. Obviously, there's, strangers in town.
So, all right, as long as no one's paying attention and I'm still in telepathic communication with her, she'll warn me if anyone does. I will begin telling the tale of the draconic notes I found, what they relay, and the maps, and the potential connection to what we're looking at here, and how highly suspicious this is.
Yep, this whole place is hinky-dinky.
And anyone who is proficient in nature can give me a check about what that green dust is.
That would
Definitely
be
not much.
Ishka. Maybe other people, but definitely Ishka. Let me. Where am I?
No, I got a decent mod on it though. I think I had the highest mod.
Oh crap!
No, I don't.
Jesus!
I do.
Damn
I have a
it!
+3.
No, you sniff it and it smells foul, but you can't pick up what it is.
Is it smelling salts?
Bah.
Smelling salt for a few years.
Not even like, hey, it smells familiar kind of thing, or just I have absolutely no idea.
You have absolutely no idea.
Damn it!
You rolled
Yeah,
a 7.
I know.
Yeah, it is. You would assume it's something that's been ground up, but yeah, you can't place what it is.
Dang it. Yeah, it doesn't seem familiar to me. It's beyond my ken.
All Montauk knows of this town is Fishmonger seems like potentially serial killer in hiding, or perhaps has
Maybe there is no monster.
slaughtered far too many fish.
He is the monster.
Maybe
And
he took on
at this,
children.
Alessandro sort of pops up. No, he's the town boss. He town leader. Good man. Feed people.
He feeds everyone?
Aye, he smoked the fish, and we trades fish with outsides. Warsh takes him to land to bring back tools.
It wouldn't be
He
the first.
angry, but he good leader.
It would not be the first time a seemingly good leader had dark secrets, child. We hope we are wrong, but we
she
have.
looks at you. Yeah, she looks at you wide-eyed and just kind of nods.
Yeah, we hope we are wrong, but we must consider that possibility.
Tell me, have you seen strangers in town outside of us? outside of Luna
The Luna Man.
Luna Man.
No, just Luna Man. No, just Luna Man and outsides. That's all.
Seems that. Do we know if other places where this has happened have had guests in days prior?
We'd have to ask Luna Man, I suppose.
Perhaps Luna Man is less guest and more beacon, or perhaps more scout.
I thought you didn't know anything about magic. It seems like you got some ideas.
Montauk has seen things and read things.
Well, we
Can
could
we-
try talking to that guy again and get some more information out of maybe somebody less intimidating and more friendly.
We could follow him. Perhaps one of the birds.
Little Birdman seems to have volunteered.
The other birds.
Minerva, if we wish to send an aerial scout, Minerva would be the best. It's been over an hour now, right, Patrick?
Yes.
Yeah, so my seagull is gone. I can re-summon him, but then I wouldn't be able to wild shape again today.
Save it for now, because worst case, I can fly up and just use the goggles and just keep an eye on everything for a bit. See where everybody
Yeah, so
goes.
if we want to do aerial, Pavo and Minerva are our best bets right now.
So you have this dark wood with this cave to explore, and you have a drawing that makes it look like there is some sort of altar in this cave. And you know that as night falls, tonight would be the night of an attack coming.
So we should
How
check
long
it
would
out
it take us to
now?
go to the altar? Approximately.
About a half-hour walk.
I could
What
get
time
there
is it now?
faster.
Right now, with what you guys have done, probably about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Let's go deal with this cave, and then we can take a short rest before nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
Walk in woods. Good for health, I guess.
Usually
I'm-
go through the woods, but
And Montauk turns to Alessandra and says, Alessandra will stay here and keep clear of Gilberto.
Alessandra, no, walk in the dark wood. Creatures gobble us up. Oh, no. Alessandra, wait, but you promised you come back?
Yes, in fact, I will leave my servants here, and they can take you with. I will instruct them that if we don't return, for them to take you off this island. Is that a deal?
She grins widely and just nods. Yeah, I sit, I wait. And she like plops down, crosses her legs. I sit with goats.
She's waiting for you to die, I think.
No, she's not.
Get up,
Anyway, she sits with the goats. Can I take a look at those? Those goats look like normal goats, right? They're not also weird and two-headed or other insane things.
They have square eyeballs. They're eye holes.
The goats are sort of sickly, and one of them has like an oddly short, stumpy leg. Another one has like milky, blind eyes. The male only has a single horn.
Wait a minute. Is this who I think it is?
Uh-huh.
I
I have
can't
no
believe
idea
it took
what's
me
going
this
on.
long to recognize her.
Wait, what?
This is a character that this author pops in almost all of his modules. She shows up in various places.
Oftentimes with goats.
Weird looking goats.
And to kind of like distract and make Alessandra a little bit more cheerful, Ishka will cast shape water into the form of a little fish. It'll like just dance in the air around her.
She is absolutely kind of thrilled and amazed and claps her hands at this sort of gleefully. And Rubel, as you finish sort of looking at the goats, you realize the blind one is just now following you around the barn, sort of hanging next to you all the time.
Looks like I have another follower. Only suitable for the second princess of Moraes.
Yes. Princess's retainer can be blind goat. Now, enough talk. The dark creature of the woods will not eat me, and not eat that one, for he is made of metal.
Don't be so sure about that, but let's continue.
And I'm far too gamey to be eaten. It would taste awful.
I thought you were going
Silver.
to say gay.
It's Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Little elf man, perhaps can be appetizer. Now let us move. And out Montauk goes.
I think it's the
Besides-
other direction.
You could always make coca vin.
Is Pablo a
Shall we?
peacock?
All right.
Pablo's a
He
peacock.
sure is. So you guys head out in through the dark woods. And it is very, heavy canopy here. It actually covers the rain that's blowing in a little bit for you. But you notice that, it is oddly dark and thick as you move through, but it's filled with pines and walnuts and hawthorns, which in this wet weather give off a fairly pleasant smell, which is nice after all the fish that has been around you. But it is full of dense, thorny underbrush and plants, so it's not a pleasant place to walk through. But you do manage to make your way through it without too much effort. You don't pick up the sounds of any sort of creatures. It's very silent, the occasional squirrel, and that's about it. And eventually you find yourselves staring down into this ravine with water down at the bottom of it. And, the cave is about 30 feet below you. So you would have to climb down.
Someone have that bullseye lantern? I could just go down and take a quick look.
Here you go.
And we'll
Don't die.
No, I'm not going in. We're just going to shine the light in.
You shine the light in as you fly down, and you see that there is a passageway which goes for about 60 feet and then seemingly opens up into a larger space.
I'll fly back up. Does someone have a hammer? And one of those little dealies for rocks?
Pick, you mean?
No, the dealies you leave in rocks.
A piton.
That's it. And if someone gives me a hammer and a python, I will go down with a rope and tie it off at the mouth of the cave and bring it back up, and we can put another one at the top and easy peasy climb down.
Trying to determine what sort of
My character moving on his own.
package I have here. Like how you like an explorer's pack and stuff like that. I don't actually have that listed on my character sheet here.
It's dark. I want to cast
What
light.
kind of pack do you have? Or what
Well, no, that's the thing.
background?
Outlander.
Ishka has an
Explorer's
explorer's
pack.
pack,
There
so
it
she
is.
probably has something like that.
All right,
Yeah,
so
explorer's pack.
with,
So I do have.
with the pythons, everyone can give me a strength check as you climb down, but do so with advantage because of the rope.
Do I see anything that I could hook a grappling hook to instead?
Oh, at the
Grapple down?
top, there's definitely some stub trees and things like that, so you could easily use a grappling hook.
I grab her.
Oh, it's with the
Oh no, she had advantage.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Do
my
you-
grappling hook in and grapple down instead. That's
Well, it's
still
either
rough.
going to be me or Doris, because we're the next two lowest next to Steph's character.
Oh no, you guys had advantage, so you guys all managed to climb down safely
Oh, right. Yeah.
and make your way into this cavern. You do have the lantern, so hang on, I'm going to turn on the dynamic lighting.
I'll hand the lantern back to whoever gave it to me and cast light on a stone for myself. And
All
put
right.
on my glove.
So with that, you guys find yourselves in a narrow passageway that after about 20 feet opens up into a larger space and then continues on. And you can see around a curve, it even seems to expand a little bit larger after that.
Okay. I have a somewhat decent perception check, so I can go forward, and I will be paying attention to my surroundings.
All right, give me a survival check as you move through.
Same bonus. 9.
9. You can see there don't appear to be any, heavy footprints or tracks or marks or anything like that on the ground. This area doesn't look like it's been disturbed for quite some time.
And Montauk will sort of motion people forward as he sort of slowly creeps around the corner here.
How high is the ceiling?
At this point, it's only about 8 to 9 feet tall, but you can see as you turn the corner, it opens up into a larger space.
Yeah, Montauk's ducking down. He's like 8 feet tall.
Scrap Heap, your divine sense goes off, and you do get a definite sense of evil in this area.
Huh.
It comes through like this. It does come through like a sort of noxious odor as you breathe in this area. It feels unsettling for you.
I relay my feelings and what I think is up ahead, that there is somebody waiting ahead for us.
No,
maybe.
Montauk's been making that smell all day.
It is evil fish that we ate. And Montauk will draw a sword and continue to creep.
All right, you continue to move forward. There's layers of dust and old sediment in here that sort of crunch under your foot. There's a very dry smell. And as you move more and more forward through here, much like Scrap Heap, something about the place just raises the hairs on the back of your neck.
Am I able to, with my divine sense, am I able to know what kind of, what exactly is triggering my sensors?
It's evil celestial, obviously.
Evil celestial. Oh, okay.
Montauk senses great danger.
Yeah, you don't pick up any creature, but this area radiates an unsettling aura for you, Scrap Heap.
Desecrated, maybe?
This place is filled with evil magics.
Oh.
And Montauk will continue to creep forward.
All right, and finally, as you turn the corner, you see the space in front of you opens up, and there's a couple of drops in front of you that almost work like natural steps. And down at the furthest level, in the center of this large area, much like you saw in the drawing that you collected, Nithdoris, there is a roughly rectangular block of stone. And with the light that you have, you can see there's blotches of rust-colored stains drip down from its center. And it looks like there are several darkened candles melted down to the stone and a collection of various objects on the center of the block, a couple of which actually glint nicely off of the light in your hand.
I lay a hand on Montauk's shoulder just to sort of keep him from advancing. Ask him for a moment and ritually cast Detect Magic.
You sit for about 10 minutes. Afterwards, your spell goes off, and this whole main area just ahead of where you guys are lights up as a lingering sort of magical effect.
Using an action, what school is it?
Illusion.
I will inform the party that there is illusion magic at work here. Everyone be highly on your guard.
Montauk in this cave is highly on his guard, but will be more so.
I will also be on Montauk's guard.
Montauk appreciates this. And
I just high regard.
I'm for hire.
How
New
high
ships
are you?
by themselves.
enough witty better. And slowly creeping.
So as you keep moving forward, you feel more and more unease, Montauk. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Montauk feels like he needs to go away.
Yes, there is something about this room that really upsets you, and you are overcome with this growing horror that you can't quite name, but you cannot move forward any further. You feel an urge to flee this cave as soon as possible.
Montauk does not like cave. Montauk says we leave. Montauk is leaving,
Montauk.
or at least falling back.
And Montauk ran away. And Montauk
No,
ran away.
this cave is bad.
Yes,
This cave is very bad.
We don't have much.
you're very
We
good.
don't have much of a choice, Montauk.
Moving a
Montauk
bit
will not
closer,
advance.
Can I try and peer through whatever illusion is in place to see what it is trying to hide?
Yes.
Okay. That's an investigation check, I assume? Because most of them are.
Yes.
16.
You peer through and you see the shimmer, and it's not hiding anything, but you get the sense that whatever is causing this upsetting aura is coming from it.
Should I bother wasting a spell slot? What do you think?
Well, what are you going to do?
Protect evil and good?
It's evil.
Yeah, I don't think we need to worry with that.
Evil and
Yeah,
good.
so you
But,
see
know,
that this illusion isn't hiding, what this place is, but it is clearly set up almost as a defense mechanism.
Make sure you check the floor before you walk. It might be a hole and it's covering that.
Up the
All
10-foot
right.
pole.
Montauk feels very well defended against going again into the cave. Yeah,
I will
and-
choose to advance. At
All
least
right,
far
as
as
you
I-
advance, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, Ishka will move forward with him.
Yeah, as you pass by Montauk, he sees wide-eyed and just shaking his head. Like he's more scared than you've ever seen.
Nithdoris, you feel this feeling wash over you, but you are able to sort of push it aside and keep moving forward. And you can see now, as you see some of the walls, they are painted with crude artwork depicting a 5-headed sea serpent rising from the waves, feasting upon stick figures on the shore.
Wasn't there rumors about that we heard of?
You've heard, quite a few types of, stories of this ilk. But as Montauk, realized coming through, no one seems to have been in this area for quite some time, if not years.
Does Ishka see the drawings yet?
Yeah, with the light, you would be able to see the walls because you're sort of right behind Nithdoris as well.
Do I recognize, do they spark any memory of any kind of, would I recognize that creature, basically?
You have heard tales of these kinds of sort of aquatic hydras and things like that. You don't recognize the specific one in this drawing, but it is definitely, the same with Rubel and Old Silver. It is, absolutely the kind of sort of mythic creature you would have been told tales about as a child.
Okay.
Well,
You can give me a religion check if you want.
Sure. She'll also say to kind of the group around him, is like, I think we had best just dive in at this point. Nothing really seems to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Old Silver, Rubel, you guys can give, or actually Scrap Heap, you're ancient enough as well. You guys can all give me a religion check as well if you'd like.
Cool.
Or
I'm
history.
enough.
Guidance
Oh,
myself.
history.
Your
Exactly.
background, Nithdoris, is not the same. Everybody else here has sort of a nautical, antiquated kind of background.
Fair
At
enough.
least certain this is aquatic TMA.
Well, Montauk
Yeah.
doesn't, but
I
Montauk's
got a
not in the
19
league.
total.
Yeah, Stephanie, Rubel actually does remember and recognize that this artwork maybe implies that Old Silver isn't too far off, and this may actually be a variant of Tiamat.
Yes, I do believe this is Old Silver is correct. It is a variant of Tiamat, but aquatic in some way. Would I know anything else about it being, a second princess or, a cleric of Umberly? Would that give me any edge?
You've been, like I said, this is the kind of thing you'd have been told stories about, and it's rare for humanoids to sort of worship this kind of thing, but you would have always been told tales that, it involves a sacrifice of wealth and treasure and things like that. Not necessarily people, but, there could well be darker aspects to it as well.
Would Umberly consider this altar a threat, right?
Umberly would consider this an affront.
We must destroy this.
I will move slightly more forward.
As will
Alright.
I.
Montauk agrees with the idea of people destroying it and says, "You first."
It
Because
belongs
he's
to
not
the
going to
museum.
do it, I think.
No, we're going to destroy the altar and then we will take the artifacts to put in museums. Sure,
It
absolutely.
belongs in that Winthrop Museum.
Oh, don't get me started on Winthrop.
All right, as the rest of you guys move forward, please all give me wisdom saving throws as well.
Good back here, thanks. I can see the whole room from here, right?
What?
Yes.
Do I get advantage because I'm a cleric of Umberly? No.
Nope.
You're grasping.
But
I
you
don't
are
know if I
not
wanna
frightened
go.
of this, Stephanie. You actually feel a rage kind of replace this upsetting, fearful feeling that washes over you. But Ishka and Pavo, you do not feel that you can step any further into this room. In
Ugh.
fact, you,
Right.
like Montauk, want to flee this space. As does Scrap Heap.
Circuits are overloading. Must retreat.
Yeah, everyone's
What?
like, "Ugh," and
So what?
Rubel's like, "Look at this bullshit."
I am so tired of today. I am on some desolate little isle, and now there's an affront to my goddess. Let's destroy this damn thing.
But what if we
All
do
right,
it
so
later?
Old
What if we
Silver,
do it later?
Nithdoris, and Rubel, you guys you do not feel this feeling anymore. It is past, and you are able to move forward without feeling this upset darkness.
I move
And-
very cautiously. Any signs of other magic?
Oh,
No
here's a
signs of
stick.
other magic, nothing like that springs forward. As you get closer, you do notice another stick figure is standing on the water in this sort of wall painting and seems to be pouring what could be a sack of maybe coins into the waves.
Back here, it looks like a pile of random detritus.
It looks like, well, give me a perception check from this far away. It's a pile of something.
If the thing just wants money, isn't it just basically Umberly anyway?
Excuse me?
He doesn't want money.
It appears to be
Umberly-
a pile of books, Old Silver.
Umberly wants you to suffer, and everyone else to suffer.
That is so not what she wants. She is completely misunderstood. She keeps the oceans working so that we might have trade. And this is how
Oh.
all of you repay her.
How
repay
deep
her.
is this drop?
Just 5 feet. Each of these steps, as you move down, is only a few feet. So it's fairly easy to get through here once you're inside.
Maybe if we
I
impeach
very slowly am picking my way across the room.
I'm noticing that all of our front line people, as it were, are all back there.
Pavel
And I'm noticing that
will wave.
all of
Hello.
us are not.
Just
You don't-
wusses who don't have
Oh.
faith.
I sort of waved them on towards us.
No, we're good. We're good.
Have you guys tried leaving the cave and coming back in?
Have you guys? Oh, fine. At least get ready to attack from afar. Must I do everything myself?
If we go all
Run
the way
back.
too
Certainly, go
far,
ahead.
we won't
If-
be able to attack.
There's somebody back here who could use one.
All right, so the 3 of you up front continue very slowly moving into this empty cave with this altar in it. And yes, you've noticed that there is a large pile of books nestled up against the wall behind this altar.
At least there's some good news. Maybe we can repair them and teach the locals how to read.
I'm not
They
certain
don't
those old
deserve those books.
how to
They're,
read.
they're going to be ours.
I wasn't going to give them all of them. I was just going to give them scraps.
So, and as you continue moving across this stone floor, I mean, it crunches, some pebbles sort of drop and scatter across the ground in front of you, but it seems stable. You don't notice any footprints or other movements going on. And at about that point, Nithdoris, you can start making out more of the objects on top of this altar. You can see that very clearly what was glinting appeared to be gold bars. And there appears to be a scroll sealed with a splotch of red wax.
Oh, I'm checking for traps.
Why do gods need money anyway?
Guidance.
What are they doing with it?
Well, it goes to the not only to maintain the temple, but also to the local community education programs,
We
food
the money
programs.
to give Kimberly into the ocean.
Yeah, how does that build economic growth? Like, I mean, I know about schools of fish, but I don't think it works that way.
Keeping inflation in check.
So you can add a d4 your guidance. So with a 14, you don't notice any traps. Nothing appears to be, you look up at the ceiling and, it starts rising about 20 feet above you. You don't notice any tripwires, any false floors. It looks clear.
Well, Rubel, go and get it.
Oh, okay. I will very carefully.
Inspiration for that.
I'm a wizard. I'm not going to fucking drop into the obvious trap.
Wait, drop into
Did
what
I-
obvious trap?
On the high ground.
If you stay up there, you cannot be defeated.
Excuse me, you mentioned obvious trap. What are you talking about?
That was out of character.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, this is a fucking trap. Like,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, something bad's gonna happen down there.
You know what? Is there anything noteworthy on the table that I can see from here?
scroll.
You see gold bars, a scroll, and what appears to be a silver tarnished knife.
All right, I'm going to pick up a rock and just huck it at the altar.
Okay, give me a investigation check to find a rock. No, I'm kidding.
What are you doing?
I'm going to see if it's trapped.
Fine. What? I send Minerva over to pick up the scroll.
Minerva flies down, deftly picks up the scroll, easily flies back, and drops it in your hand.
That's just a
Okay.
brave owl.
do it with the rest of this stuff before I destroy it?
Don't just.
No, your owl cannot lift a gold bar. It
But
can
a
pick up the
knife.
Yeah, I
knife,
know
no
that.
problem.
Yeah, that's why I went with the scroll, the lightest thing on the table.
Miss Doris, do you know Mage Hand?
Using Mage Hand, I will open the scroll and read what's on it just internally.
All right. You're not going to read. So you read, and you see it. As you open it, all the candles that are in this room and on this altar, so surrounding this area, all flare up to life and start burning this greenish sort of flame before turning into a normal sort of candle light. And you can see that this appears to be a contract between the servants of the Queen, with an E, and the folk. It details a deal struck some decades ago in which the islanders here traded their souls and a fortune in gold in exchange for personal power and for casting away the outsides, unless this deal is broken.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand. So, according to this, whoever the deal was struck with will remove outsiders and keep the status quo on the island unless the deal is broken. Does that mean that it's potentially we're going to die, or does that mean that it's already been broken based on the context that we've witnessed and experienced so far?
It is not specified in the contract. Roll me an insight check. Not specified. It's not quite clear to you what exactly this entails.
But it'd be reasonable for me to believe it's a binary decision between one or the other. Either we're screwed, sort of, or we're not. Cool.
So with that, there are gold bars left on this altar. There's a pile of books. What would you guys like to do?
Okay, Miss Doris, what should we do?
Are the people who are still affected by whatever was affecting us, do we still need to roll a wisdom save?
I will say, as the scroll is opened and these candles flare up, the feeling of fear fades. You still have a feeling of unease, but you are no longer frightened.
Yeah, Montauk's just pacing back and forth, and he attempts to cross the line again, and he's like, "Oh, ha ha ha! Yes."
Roll me an intelligence save. No, I'm just kidding.
Mental altar cannot defeat Montauk.
Ishka will ask Nithdoris what the scroll says.
I will. Is it written in Draconic?
It doesn't say what it's written in.
Okay.
It is.
I will explain that it is a contract between the people of the island and some entity known as the Queen. I assume that was spelled Q-U, Queen with an E on the end.
Yes.
And I will point that out. Asking those of more religious backgrounds, is that potentially a name that Tiamat goes by?
Does it not mean like a fey queen or something? Wasn't there something about that?
I can do a history
not
check.
100% certain, so I'm asking the crowd.
This would be religion, perhaps arcana.
Guidance myself, and
I am
also
not
guidance
proficient in either.
And guidance anybody else.
Arcana and not know anything.
What are the terms of this contract?
Some keeping the outsides out and large amounts of gold. Some
Yes.
amount of gold.
Should we
But
ask
what-
your sister? Would she know?
What
I
shall
don't.
break-
I'm. What
shall
would
break this
happen?
contract?
Well, here's the question. If it seems to me that the contract has been broken because these islanders don't seem very wealthy. So if the contract has been broken, what's the scroll still doing here?
Somebody just forget it?
Miss Doris,
Now,
this
reading
is
over the
Scott.
contract, they traded their souls and a fortune in gold in exchange for personal power and casting away the outsides.
So the warlock.
Oh,
Something
they're
like that.
were something. They're were
Oh.
creatures.
Oh, no. Oh,
Well, they
silver
could
weapons.
also
We
just
have
be,
silver weapons.
other sorts of magical
Yes.
creatures or demons or what have you.
Montauk will approach the altar and just kind of look down at it and give it a little kick.
We can get
It's
the gold
cool.
off first.
Stone, you kick it, a little dust falls off. These gold bars, you can see, do bear a trade stamp, and there is a silver knife that has been sort of left, and it also has these sort of, flaked rust stains on it.
Right. Do I recognize the trade symbols on the bars?
You do not, but if you show them around, Old Silver does. And you would recognize them as something being, fairly common, but something you haven't seen for at least 50 years, which, puts these presumably from around the same time this contract might have been sealed.
Ishka's going to study the paintings, the drawings along the wall, see if she can try and decipher what exactly this personal power, because she thinks they're were creatures. So are there any stick figures turning into something else, or just anything that would give her a hint as to what personal power part of the contract would imply?
You looking at it, and you have a lantern, so you can take some time and investigate all of it. You don't see any stick figures changing into anything else. So you see this five-headed serpent rising from the waves, feasting upon stick figures on the shore, and another stick figure is pouring a sack of what appears to be coins into the waves.
Maybe they can control this sea creature, whatever it is.
Grab
Yeah, they did-
silver knife.
I want
Maybe
to go
useful.
through the pile of books.
All right,
Montauk.
most of them are rotted with moisture and useless, but give me an investigation check, please.
Guidance.
Cool. One sec here. $13.
Yeah, you don't find anything that has, any particular value to yourself. But flipping through, you do find what appears to be the captain's logs of two ships. One called the Abundant Serendipity, the other one the Dragon's Edge.
Hello.
I immediately hand the one over
Hello.
to Silver.
Hello.
And Old Silver, as you flip through, you see this is, partially your logbook, but then as well, it tells the tale of them robbing this merchant ship, the Abundant Serendipity, that was full of gold, gems, books of lore out of Melvaunt, and headed for Mulmaster when it was taken by the name you recognize, Captain Testane and the crew of the Dragon's Edge. And it further describes how the pirate crew took refuge on this little island and enslaved the villagers here. But then it is left blank with about 24 pages left in it.
Bastard.
Old Silver, what did you do?
Bastard who took my ship. You need my crew out from underneath me. Went on to... I knew he was a pirate, but apparently they landed here and enslaved the villagers. Who knows how long ago at this point? It might be
My
older than the
assumption
contract.
would be 50 or so years ago. Probably
Yeah,
coinciding
from-
with this ritual that looks to be performed.
Yeah, I mean, from the dates in the logbook, it looks like about 60 odd years ago, which is about the time you lost, your ability to track your ship. You just seemed to disappear, but nobody ever claimed, any bounty on it or had it destroyed. It just seemed to vanish.
I relay that. Maybe this is the fate that it underwent.
Perhaps we should speak with the grandmothers again.
I don't trust them. Everyone knows they're hags, right?
That's
Well,
our
certain they're
obviously they're
assumption. We
hags.
do not have
Something.
proof.
We don't body shame here.
Body shaming. I'm saying they are creatures. They're hag creatures.
I'm not certain they're hags. If they are hags, I don't think we could handle them.
Montauk looks over this knife. Does it just look old?
It is old and flaking silver. It doesn't look like it has any particular sort of value. And you can see it is, basically just a silver-plated kind of ritual knife. It didn't radiate magic when Nithdoris cast it in the room.
Right, so it looks like it would be also pretty useless in combat.
Yeah, you think, you'd be able to use it maybe once or twice before it might snap off.
Never
It's
mind.
it's fancy without being useful.
And Montauk does not do fancy without being useful.
Would it be worth anything?
No, you can see it's just silver plated and most of it's flaking off. It's an old curio, but you'd get a couple of coins for it, but it's not valuable. The
I
gold
will
bars
still-
are,
Yeah, I will still pocket the knife.
yeah, I mean, you might be able to sell that, at the Ocean's Pearl for a couple of coins. The gold bars, you would easily recognize they're probably worth 200 gold.
Your total.
They're 27 pounds each of gold. So how much does a gold coin weigh?
Well, they're
50
gold
is a
trade
pound.
bars, so
Is that
Yeah.
the same as one of our bricks in our world, or smaller?
a little
They have a
smaller.
value. They're weighting in gold coins.
Montauk. Okay, so our Montauk will turn it into Doris and say, "Will taking this gold break their contract?"
I don't know.
That is
I
Montauk's concern.
Feeling we're about to raise this village to the ground, though. Whether we want to or not.
Either
Montauk
way-
will not interfere with fools who sell their souls.
Yes, indeed. In fact, we should take this gold, and I'm going to destroy it.
But Montauk understands the plight of the
What?
enslaved.
Yeah,
We're taking the gold, we're keeping the gold.
yeah, and destroy the altar. It is to
Okay.
an evil
You
god.
have to be very specific when you say things. When you say, I'm going to take the gold and destroy it, we assume you mean you're taking the gold and destroying the gold. That is a
No,
stupid
no,
idea.
no, that's a stupid idea.
Evil. Your god is literally an evil god.
She's not evil.
Yes, she is.
My divine senses are tingling, and that's not a good
She is chaotic evil. That's her alignment.
If we
There's
are
almost
to
no
take,
tempest in gods who are not evil.
all right. Well, if we're going to take the gold, then Montauk will heft the gold.
She's just
Up, up.
misunderstood.
Up off of the altar. Any earthquakes?
No
Matt Morton?
earthquakes? Nope.
Okay. This altar, it's just like a big block of stone, yes?
Yes, just a big block of stone. You take the gold off, it doesn't retract like Indiana Jones. It, some dust falls off and settles, and that is it.
What is music I suddenly hear? All right, so this altar, do I see any way of do I see any cracks in it? Something I can maybe worry with a maul, like a big hammer.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, good. +0 int. Yes! Montauk starts just wailing on it with his maul.
And bits and pieces start cracking and falling off. It is old, but it is fairly solid stone.
Thought that would work.
You do get the sense that there may be etchings and things in there that if you scrape those out, Rubel might recognize that it would, while it wouldn't sanctify anything, it might clear the altar of some of its power.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. Smack, 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 smack.
And
We lost old silver.
Yeah, we've lost old silver.
Montauk will stand here watching the entrance of the cave, waiting for the inevitable, horrible hick villagers to come with torches.
Smack, 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 smack.
Are you still able to hear us, Brendan? There we go. All right. Yeah, so you take a few minutes. You are able to, with your maul and with other tools, and, Scrap Heap would be able to, help with this as well. You were able to remove some of the glyphs and things like that. But, you'd need to come back to properly sanctify this Rubel.
Ishka can also cast Ashes Splash to help with that.
Thank you. Umberly loves you.
All right. Anything else you guys wish to do while you are in this cave?
We have annoyed the gods. Perhaps that is enough.
We have pleased the goddess.
Well,
I'll poke up
some-
around the ceiling, see if there's if that illusion thing was covering any hidden areas while they're looking at everything else.
Is the illusion still up?
The illusion is not up anymore. Once you opened the scroll, it seemed to break whatever the spell was. Give me a perception check, Pablo.
And it's not far away, so I don't have advantage because of my glasses.
Could you make some distance between you and it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't pick out. I mean, there's a few crevices and things like that, but scouting around, you find a giant spider that sort of hisses back and are not attacked by it.
Oh, hiss it yourself. All right, well, let's go.
All right. Well, let's take a quick bathroom break, and we will pick up as you guys head back to the village.
I can't wait for these
Consequences.
villagers to go crazy on us.
Who's
Fuck
gonna kill
'em.
the little girl?
No, we're not. We're taking her. She's too young to understand that she's a part of a cult.
Oh no, she's actually
She's indoctrinated. We're gonna have to probably end
She's
up fighting her.
clearly a leader, guys. Come on.
I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
that's what accept it. He's got the heart of a leader.
She's
Actually,
really
no,
the-
no,
the-
knowing the specifics of how this writer likes to include her and everything, she'll be the only one who isn't involved.
I'll be right back.
I find it highly amusing that a cleric of Umberly is so naive as to how she actually is. I think that's really good.
Actually, I think someone who actually didn't know him was just raised with Umberly being the greatest thing ever because someone was a devout fanatic would think that.
No, I agree. I love
Yeah.
this take of it. I love it. I don't think
But, yeah,
Steph.
we all call her the bitch queen.
Yeah. I'll have to tell Steph that when she gets back. Because I think, because most people who worship under Umberly are even as players, I would assume that it's yeah, she's a bitch, I'm a bitch, we're all evil, fuck y'all.
Well, it's more
But
the fact
isn't-
of she and Oral are kind of like the major bitch gods of Faerun, or Toril, I guess.
Faerun, I think still. I think it's still. I think it's. Yeah, Faerun is the continent, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Faerun is the
Bear
continent.
Terror.
Toril is the world.
Yeah, is the actual world. Honestly, it wasn't until the Sundering that I figured that out. I found their dogma for Umberly though, and I thought it was really cool.
Umberly's pretty great. It's the same way I always wanted to do. I wanted to do like a cleric of Oral, but they actually say in her mythology that she almost never grants powers to anybody unless you're evil, and even that it's incredibly rare.
Mm.
I see from the change of map to these woods that we made it back to town just fine.
Oh, sure.
All right, time to find out what the dark creature of the woods is. Is it a cute little bear?
Do you have a picnic basket?
I could weave one.
Are you smarter than the average bear?
I've got an intelligence of 10.
I don't know, Yogi.
So this might be useful for people if anyone wants it. Umberly's link on the Realms wiki page. We are in kind of like a sea adventure, so it might be good to know a little bit more. The dogma, like I said, is really interesting.
All right, so yes, Umberly, also referred to as the Bitch Queen and the Queen of the Depths, was the evil sea goddess of the Faerunian pantheon. Is Steph
that
on right
gen-
now?
I'm reading
Is that
Worshippers. The
Is that
temples of Umberly were
genuinely
few and
written
far
as the bitch
between,
queen?
and the church was disorganized, universally hated throughout Faerun, and perpetuated out of fear of the goddess.
Yes.
But here's the thing: the Church of Umberly this is a different article that I just tapped into when I was googling it. Because honestly, all I really knew about Umberly was that hey, she's the bitch goddess. I didn't really know that much about her, but apparently the Church of Umberly here disorganized in different locales very significantly in the way they practice faith in the bitch queen. So that actually really does work because Lauren was right. So I mean, if you're raised in a culture where
You're
the
breaking
bitch
up,
queen,
Tara.
damn it,
You're all robotic.
yeah.
Not for me.
Does work really well with sea elves though, because why would sea elves be afraid of the bitch queen? She can't sink a sea elf.
Exactly. So that's why
Is
they
it
worship
everybody?
her as an awesome thing. You know what I mean?
Test Patrick, am I breaking up?
Hello?
No. Sound
Blah
off,
blah blah
everyone?
blah blah.
No, Chris is coming in fine.
Yeah, it
Tara
might
was
be
the one
Patrick
that
then.
was Tara was the one that was breaking up.
Fine to me.
Discord's been weird and flaky for me recently.
Almost like a lot of people are using it more than normal.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
I've got good connection.
Test.
Coming in good here.
Awesome.
I am
yes.
the very model of a modern major general.
Have you information
No,
vegetable, animal, and mineral?
Very
Yes,
model
and
of
I
a
would continue this, but
Patrick's
I have
not
absolutely
connecting.
no idea how that ends.
Patrick issue.
Okay, so I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo and all of categorical. I'm
Yes.
very well acquainted with mathematical.
Oh
I
God,
understand
he knows the
equations,
entirety of
sometimes
the Pirates of
mechanical.
Penzance.
About binomial theorem, I am teeming with a lot of news and many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse.
But
And
do you
that's
know
just the
I'm a
first part.
major? Do you know the Solarian version?
No, I do not know the Solarian version.
Solarian
However,
version has,
I
like,
was
two
part
versions.
of the stage performance of Pirates of Penzance. That's why I know that.
Is Steph back yet?
Here.
There you go. So we were talking about Umberly while you were away, Steph, and I did post a link to her Forgotten Realms Wikia page in the chat. But I just have to say, I love how you're playing her, because you were raised
I'm back
as
in, but
her.
you guys are all robotic to me.
Okay, I'm gonna log out
Domo
for a second and see.
arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Well, I heard you fine, Patrick. I don't know if this is coming in robotically, but you are coming in fine.
People are coming in robotically for me, but it's one person's fine and somebody else screws up and blah blah.
And just as you were saying that, Tara, you went from being perfectly fine. Chris dropped out.
No, I disconnected. I just wanted to reset my connection just in case.
All right, now I can hear you guys just fine. but my voice connection, like where they have the 3 bars,
It's red for
I'm
me.
dropping down to a small red one every once in a while.
Yeah, same here.
See,
All right.
I always have problem with Discord, but I always assume it's me because I'm trying to connect to it through like 2 or 3 different walls of concrete.
Yeah. Oh, but you were saying how you're loving how I'm playing this character?
Yes, because most people would be like, "Hey, she's an evil goddess. I'm an evil person. Let's go and do chaotic evil stuff." But you're like, no, she's like, she's just so awesome, and she's misunderstood. I love how you're playing. I love how you're playing it because it
Yeah.
actually makes sense for because we were just kind of having a discussion because like sea elves wouldn't really fear Umberly. They also wouldn't generally worship her, but it's really cool how like there's possibility of this one sea elf like society out there that actually actively worships her as this like nature goddess that's like controlling the seas and helping it thrive, and I love it. It's absolutely fascinating to me.
Aw, thank
Actually,
you.
a subrace of evil aquatic elves that worship Umberly.
We're chaotic neutral, okay? We're not evil.
The Merrills. Which exist in 3rd edition.
Okay.
Oh Lord,
If
Patrick's
we,
lost us again.
Good. That's
Hi,
great.
kitty. Hi, kitty.
Alright, I'm going to grab a drink of soda. But please continue if he comes back.
Okay.
And she picked Umberly completely randomly. That's the funny thing.
No, like here's the thing. I completely understand that, and she probably didn't understand, like, get who and what Umberly was in the beginning. But I love that what we've spun it into. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Building on what you said, think about this way because she's like, what's her thing? Is like death or not death, like what's her pantheon?
All right, I've got a good connection. Let's get going.
All
All
right.
right.
So Steph ran away, but that's fine. I'm gonna redrop.
She
my,
said to go. Yeah, she said to continue on without her.
Okay, and out into the woods.
Yeah, so making your way back to town in through these dark woods, the rain is starting to hit a little harder, starting to even drip through this canopy. And as you make your way through, you start to hear this unearthly sort of whine/howl. And coming out from the trees around you, you see a pair of sort of fleshy puddles that kind of have human faces on top of them as they start slithering and sliding across the grass and the trees towards you, making this, inhuman sound. Malice in their eyes. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Frack.
I recognize these puddles.
Yes.
Yeah, what the hell are these things?
Voice.
The townsfolk.
Now, what the hell am I going to cast?
Dismiss puddle. Dispel ooze monster.
Throw that dust at them.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to try fairy fire.
Have we tried a large paper towel?
Because I get all of my spell slots. I get my spell slots back on a short rest, so I'm just going to spam my spells.
No, nobody's rolled for Rubel yet.
Yeah, so I
Montauk
can
is
roll for
brought
her.
up.
Edge roll for. That's easier than me taking off my headset and rolling over.
You choose expended spell slots can have a combined
Gee,
level.
6 feet is so hard to travel.
We'd take his headset off.
Yeah, that's the big part.
Listen, after months and months and months of not going anywhere, do you think people are really in the mood to travel anywhere these days?
Yeah, well, I never
Oh,
like to travel.
22,
begin
that's
with.
pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately, you rolled it 4 times and got a 13 on the last one.
Yeah, that's fine. So Ishka, you are still up first.
Okay, bonus action. Get out my quarterstaff, cast Shillelagh on it, and then I am going to shoot. There's only, well, still. I only see the 2. Crap. I thought there was
Yeah.
more.
Oh, I'll give you more if you want more.
No, thank you. I will cast Acid Splash at this one. just to kind of see how that does. What is the range on it? Just want to make sure I'm within 60 feet of it. I don't even know if Acid Splash will hurt it. Perfect. Okay. Acid Splash.
Depends if it's acid or base puddle.
Dexterity save. Oh, jeez. This puddle is not good at that. And Roll20 has gone really slowly for me right now, so it'll be a second.
Well, we are having some weather, at least down here, so that might not be helping things.
Aren't we
Yeah,
always
that is an 8. So yeah, your acid splashes into this, sort of puddle with a face on it. It just and screeches as it definitely is hurt by it.
Okay,
Any movement,
good.
any bonus action?
Nope,
your bonus action was Shillelagh, so
yeah, and I was just trying to see if acid will actually hurt these things, because now I don't have to get into range with them if I don't have to.
All right. Takes us to Rubel.
Screw these things. I will attack the one that has already been attacked. And these look like organic creatures, right? They don't look like undead?
They don't look like undead. Give me a religion check.
Horrible fleshy monstrosities.
These seem like devils.
They're devils! So I will Sacred Flame the one that already got hurt. Feel the wrath of Umberly!
Yeah, see, there you go. Radiant damage.
I'm assuming it's going to fail. It's got a -3 to its dex. Yeah, that's a 2. So, yes, this radiant blast comes down from the sky, and this creature, this fleshy puddle kind of gets surrounded in this white radiant energy. It's still alive, but it definitely looks very badly hurt. Takes us to Scrap Heap.
So which one was the one that the other
The one
two
on
were
the right is
attacking?
more hurt.
Okay, so I'm gonna take walk
Very badly hurt.
very badly. So after be using it, Doris and Old Silver might be able to take care of it. I'll go after the one on the left and smack it. The Moon Touch. First one coming in.
I need to find a basket case gif for these things. Oof, that definitely hits. Yeah, you slash it for 5 slashing damage. And it doesn't bleed. It sort of opens up and sort of festers, but yeah, there is no blood that comes out.
Huh, interesting.
Takes us to Nithdoris.
All right. Let me just double check something here.
I appreciate you all rushing to get in between me and that thing.
Kill it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna move into the trees over here, and I'm going to send Minerva 30 feet towards that one, have her deliver my spell, and then get away. She has flyby, remember? Her action will be to give me the help action, and then her reaction will be to deliver my touch spell of Shocking Grasp.
A 10 hits for 7 lightning damage, and yeah, this
Second
puddle
is a
creature
13.
is blasted by this lightning, and it just turns into a puddle of ooze and slowly sort of sinks into the ground.
Now, Lauren, does your owl grab it with its talons to shoot the lightning, or does it go by like a Tesla coil, zapping everything nearby?
No, what happens is I sort of cast a spell, the lightning arcs across my fingertips, and then at the last second, it jumps from my fingers to the owl's talons. The talons dig in, release the charge as like a taser would, and then flies away.
Sweet.
That's my turn, however.
Old Silver. There is one left that Scrap Heap has injured.
Old Silver's gonna move there, aim at it, and take a shot with his bow. His +1 bow. That's a 20 to hit.
That absolutely hits for 8 piercing damage. And your arrow strikes through, and this creature just bursts like a sack of wet meat, spraying Scrap Heap. But again, there's no blood. It's just this weird ooze that, again, sinks down into the ground and just almost burns through the ground as it dissipates and disappears.
I've heard of body doubles, but never body puddles.
They are
Good
made
job,
out of meat.
Mr. Scrap Heap.
Sorry, I got cut off. What?
Good job distracting it and holding its attention.
I
What
do
are
what I can.
those?
With that, you guys are out of combat and you can continue making your way back to town. It is now close to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun is behind the clouds. There is rain. It is this storm that is blowing in is getting heavier, and as you make your way back into this unnamed village, what would you guys like to do?
I was about to ask, what is the name of this village?
There is no name. It is just the village. The
So
people
the-
here are just the folk, and you are outsides.
Okay, before we step into the village, how does it look from where we are standing?
From the edge of the tree line, you can see, the crones around the fire. You can see, a few other people that are there, either sort of chatting or taking a drink from the water that is, ever sort of bubbling over top of it.
Before we go in, I will be using my one more divine sense just to make sure we're okay the closer we get to the unnamed town.
All right, you use your divine sense. You don't pick up any sort of celestial fiends or undead as you make your way into town, but you do see the crones, sort of stare at you and grin as you, make your way back and kind of laugh and nudge each other and point in your directions.
Huh. Not the reaction I was expecting.
Maltox thinks that we have been used.
And as you make your way, back through, they say, did you find what you were looking for?
Yes, the goblin and we had a great time. He's still alive.
And they cackle and shriek at that and just say, oh, that goblin lived there before Maud. It must have been Maud the imp you met. Do you not know the difference between a goblin and an imp?
No, I don't actually. What is the difference between a goblin and an imp?
And they just look at each other and start sort of cackling and laughing amongst themselves and don't sort of, respond. And with that, you realize night is coming soon. You probably only have another couple of hours here before whatever this attacking force might be will be potentially arriving here. What do you guys want to do?
Montauk is going to propose that we talk to the fishmonger, as he's somewhat of a leader in this town, Ilberto, and basically see if he can round up the residents and get them into a secure place, because we believe that this place is about to be attacked by pirates.
All right. Give me an insight check on the crones, Ishka.
wasn't trying to incite them, just kind of give them look like we know you're bullshitting us. We know it. But yes,
All
I will
right.
still incite them. I will incite them though. Insight. Once I can find it. Oh my god, what's with all the sevens tonight?
Yeah, they just
Like
cackle
last
and wink at you as you sort of, give them the evil eye. And one of them, puts her sort of finger under her own eye and gives you some sort of symbol back. But, Alberto, he's around the fire. He was sort of chatting, having what appears to be sort of a late afternoon snack. And, as you wave him over, he, comes up to you, Montauk, sort of, picking his teeth and just goes, what?
You in charge?
He just kind of shrugs. You?
Me? I am Lord of the Summit, not a Lord of this island. However, if you care to be Lord of this island, perhaps you should understand there is danger coming tonight, and you should perhaps hide in one of these buildings. You and the rest of these villagers.
He looks at you with disgust and just goes, hide? Me?
If you think you can fight, I do not think they can fight. And I point at some of the various random villagers. Those who are coming here will not care for your little village.
You promise a fight?
If you wish to stay up for the fight, one is coming. That is why we are here. We do not run from fights. We seek them.
All right. As you're doing this, give me a strength charisma check, please, as you are using your sort of might to impress upon him.
That's about. Oh wait, no.
Or sorry, a strength persuasion check.
Okay.
Are you proficient in persuasion?
No.
Then
so
just roll strength.
Ha! 19. Montauk flexes.
Yeah, you flex, and as he looks at you, and you can see that, like, the promise of a fight and violence makes him pretty excited, and he looks at you and just says, "We can fight. Convince crones to protect people, but I fight."
If you wish to fight, you could fight. That arm looks really big. It's probably useful. Little Birdman, talk to crones. Little Birdman? Am I talking to myself?
Can nobody hear Ian?
No.
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 Nope.
Nope.
Oh, Ian, you
It's
want to talk
beautiful.
here?
Ah,
How about now?
Sad.
Now
I
we
can
can hear
hear
you.
you. Maybe.
We can hear you through Stephanie's mic, I think.
Yeah.
Reconnect.
He's
That
gonna
is
have
very
to reconnect.
clever, Brandon. All right, so yeah, so Alberto heads off and will start, rallying people, and you hear him yelling that the time has come that fighting is due, and time to protect the village from outsides.
Ishka will not have. Ishka would be willing to, but she doesn't think she'd be the best one to speak to the crones. So she will go and check on our little friend, the little girl, while everyone else is trying to talk to the crows and get everyone huddled up.
Are you going to inform her that you were the only one to make it back to town? Everyone else died to the beasts in the forest?
Ishka wouldn't do that.
Test.
There we go.
Now we can hear you.
Ian is back.
A test.
Yes.
Can
Oh,
he
clear.
hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, then,
Right.
yeah, we're good.
So
Ahoy,
Ishka
ahoy.
and Little Bird talk to these old hags.
All right.
Guidance.
And I can't give myself inspiration, but I can Ishka.
You got a guidance,
I-
so.
I have -1 to charisma. I don't think I'm the best one to do this unless we're
Oh no,
Go talk.
unless we're relying on my rapport with them from before.
I
I'm
can go.
gonna talk to the girls. They're the hags. I thought you were gonna talk to as
Yes.
angry.
I'll go check on the little girl. You guys, I'm not the best one to be doing any kind of charisma checks, so I'll leave you to it, and I'll go check on the kid.
You know what?
Okay,
I'll come
then.
with you.
All
All
right,
I'm gonna
so
check on my servants.
before I go in there, we're trying to get them to convince everyone to fight with us to fight the Draco Lich and oncoming undead hordes.
No, to protect the villagers.
From the oncoming undead hordes.
Yeah, just basically protect them from
Probably-
whatever's coming.
Probably best to just be honest with them about what is coming.
Hmm.
I seem to
Lady,
be rather
seem
silly,
very
but-
smart. Do you know what's coming tonight? Soon?
They chuckle and say, "What are you on about outside? What's she on about, sister?" "I don't know, sister."
Draco Lich that's
"The
coming.
handsome one and the young one, though. What are you on about?"
Draco Lich coming with its minions, and they're going to attack the village. We need your help. We can fight them, but we need you to help your people here. Can you help them? Can you help us? Old Silver would be.
You're breaking up to me, Ian.
Okay, can you hear me now? Test, 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 test.
I can hear you.
Oh, really? Okay.
Imagine
Okay.
Michael
Wow.
Jackson making a heartfelt plea.
Exactly. Just imagine that. So where was I? What was I saying? Sorry.
I don't think Patrick can hear you.
Yeah, Patrick's not even in Discord right now.
Oh, well, I can get away with
Technical
whatever I want.
difficulties.
They're all ignorant.
Can you hear me now, Patrick?
Good.
Patrick, I got a wish spell. I'm using it. I
all get
wish.
free
Patrick,
Three
I
ogre
just
knife.
have a wish spell.
Umberlee's chaotic good now. You can't tell me what to do.
Damn, he's dead in the water again.
Yeah, I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no route to connect.
Wow.
Oh.
What does no route to connect mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's just call it here
Yeah,
for now
let's just
tonight.
call it here. Don't worry, Umberlee will save us and save all the world.
Or she sinks our ships on the way back. Yes.
Oh, I didn't even get
Oh,
to do my
I'm
finish
sure-
my. I was gonna give them old silver. I was like one word away from giving them old silver for a date if they help us.
Yeah, they look like cougars.
These aren't cougars. What's the next?
these
ancient
are the
step to
ultimate cougars.
I don't want
There,
Hello?
there has to be a step.
Hello.
Patrick!
Now we can hear you.
Yay!
These are like, cougar. Oh, like the oh, I can't even talk anymore. I'm done. That's
They
it.
call those mountain lions.
Patrick?
I don't think he stuck. No, he's gone again. I think.
Yeah.
He said hello, and then he said
Drop
we're all
down.
robotic.
Well, anyway, I want to give up old silver like a trussed up Christmas ham, and that's where we'll end it.
I do not consent.
I don't think he cares about consent.
I always care about
Care about
consent.
consent.
But this is a date, and you can do that to save people. It's just a date.
And I am not a robot, Patrick. I am a man.
Pretty sure I'm a possum.
All right, and with that, I'm just going to call it. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Let's see who's on. I think we're going to raid Marbanyan. Give me a minute.
Hold Bunyan.
He's got a big ox. very popular.
Alrighty, ready, Roo. We're almost done.
Wow, my Twitch
Waiting now.
failed too.